G'day everyone, in this video I'm going to go over how to set up the Taylordrift Cypher Polar Apocalypse script that's available for the Cronus Zen. I'll also explain how to navigate the menu and change the values. If you want to know where and how to download this script, I have a video on my channel that explains it very quickly and I'll leave a link to that in the description. First off, let's make sure the script is selected on the Zen. We do this by pressing the blue button on the right side until it says Cypher Polar Apocalypse on the screen. Now to enter the mod menu with an Xbox controller, you need to press LT and menu, and for PlayStation you need to press L2 and options. Once you've done that, you'll now be in the mod menu. From here you can use left and right on the D-pad to scroll through the different mods and settings available on the script. You can turn each mod on and off by pressing up and down on the D-pad. Sub mods you can enter into and adjust settings. Some are just a simple off or on. To enter into the settings for a particular mod, you press A or X while it's on the screen. Once you're in there, if there's any additional settings, you can scroll through those settings by pressing left and right on the D-pad. When you want to start changing values, all you need to do is hold LT or L2 and then use the D-pad to adjust. Left and right will adjust the numbers by 1, up and down will adjust the numbers by 10, sometimes more depending on the mod. Once you're done with any changes, all you need to do is press B or circle to back out and it will automatically save. Okay, so that's how you navigate your way around the script and change values. Now let's have a look at setting it up. The first thing we want to do is enter the mod menu with LT and menu or L2 and options. Scroll over to controller config and then press A or X. If you play on the default controller layout, then leave it as default. If you play on anything else, you need to select it from this list by pressing up or down on the D-pad. If you play on any of the flipped controller layouts and you have an Xbox controller, to enter the menu, you will now need to press LB and menu. If you play on PlayStation, you will now need to press L1 and options. To change values, if you play on Xbox, you will now need to press LB and D-pad. If you're on PlayStation, you now need to press L1 and D-pad. Once you've done that, you can press left or right on the D-pad to then move over to block rumble. For the script to work properly, you need to have vibration turned on in the game settings. You can then use this block rumble feature to block the vibration. We now need to press B or circle once to back out of the controller config menu and move over to the profile settings. Press X or A to enter into the profile settings menu. The first thing you'll see is default press. We're going to leave that off and move over to the profile button option. This button will be the one you need to press to change from your primary to secondary weapon settings on the script. To select your profile button, you simply press up or down on the D-pad until the button you'd like to use is on the screen. Now, because I use triangle or Y to change weapons in the game, I'm going to make my button triangle or Y. You can choose whatever you like. Once you've selected that, we can move over one more to the resync buttons option. The resync is used when your primary and secondary weapons get mixed up with your primary and secondary settings on the Zen. To set this up, we simply hold L2 or LT and use left and right on the D-pad to scroll through the options for our first button. Once you've selected the first button, let go of LT, L2, press down on the D-pad once, and then repeat the same process to select button number 2. I went with L2, LT, and D-pad down. Next is the Warzone profile. So like we're able to have separate anti-recoil settings for our primary and secondary weapons, we can also have separate settings for one more weapon, and that's called the Warzone profile. To set this up, we follow the same process we just did for the resync buttons. I went with R3, RS, and D-pad up. Next is the Use Profiles option, and we want to make sure that that is definitely turned on. Next, we have the weapon name section. Picking a weapon from this list has absolutely no effect on any of the mods. All this will do is change the name on the main screen of the script from ground loot to whatever you select from this list. So if you run this script on multiple slots on your Zen, this makes it easier to keep track of which one you're on. Next, we'll take a look at the quick toggles. Quick toggles allow you to set up a 2-button combination to quickly turn a mod off or on. In the quick toggles menu, you can see the options for rapid fire, quick scope, hold breath, and use profiles. I like to have my rapid fire on a quick toggle. To set this up, we follow the same process we did for the resync buttons and the Warzone profile just before. I like to have my rapid fire set up as L2 LT and D-pad up. Okay, so now we've gone through how to navigate our way around the script, change values, and set the script up. Let's move on to the mods and how they work. The first one you'll see when opening the menu is Rumble AR. This is a basic anti-recoil mod that works off the in-game vibration when firing your weapon. As you enter the Rumble AR settings, you'll see two options, AR strength and horizontal. The AR strength is how much strength you want on your anti-recoil. So if the weapon's recoil goes up, you increase this value. If the recoil goes down, you decrease it. If you play on on inverted, you put these values into the negative. Horizontal is for when the weapon's recoil is pulling to the left or the right when you're firing. If the weapon pulls right, you put these to the left. If the weapon's recoil goes to the left, you put these to the right. Next, we have Progressive Anti Recoil. This is a much more advanced anti-recoil with 6 different settings. Vertical start is how much anti-recoil strength you want when you start shooting. Vertical end is how much anti-recoil strength you want at the end of the clip. Vertical time is how long the start value will last before changing to the end value, and it's the same for the horizontal settings. I know that seems very confusing, but I'm going to leave a link in the description to a video of me explaining in detail how to use and set up Progressive Anti Recoil, and I recommend watching that. The next mod is Tailor Assist. The first thing you need to do is press up or down to choose a shape. When you aim down your sight with the aim assist mod turned on, the mod makes your aim constantly trace a certain shape. It does this to scan for enemy hitboxes. Choosing the shape is a matter of personal preference, so try them all out to see what you like best. Once you've picked your shape, you can then press A or X to enter the Tailor Assist settings. Now, for example, let's say we pick circular as our shape. The radius is how big of a circle shape your aim will do when you're aiming down your sight. The steps is how quick it will complete one circle. The higher the value, the faster the circle is drawn when you're ADS. Next is minimum radius. Minimum radius is only for the shapes tall oval, wide oval, and spiral. When using one of these shapes while you're ADS, the shape will go from this minimum radius to the main radius value you set and back again. So for example, if the radius is 15 and the minimum radius is 5, when you ADS, it will go from 15 to 5, from 5 back to 15, and so on until you stop aiming. Tailor boost strength is only activated when you start shooting. It senses the rumble feedback from you firing and increases the strength of the aim assist. So this value changes how much boost you get when you start firing. Make sure you play around with it to find something that you like. Next is sticky aim. This is another aim assist mod that works very well. As usual, we press up or down to turn that on, and then we press X or A to enter into the sticky aim settings. You'll see 3 options: sticky size, sticky time, and sticky boost has now been added as well. Sticky size is the size of the shape sticky aim makes when you're firing, which uses a diamond shape. You can't change this one. Sticky time is the speed of which it makes that shape, except it works the opposite to Tailor Assist. So with this one, the higher the value, the slower the shape is drawn when you're firing. Sticky boost works the same as Tailor boost by adding strength to the aim assist based on the rumble feedback when firing, so play around with a few different values. The next few things in this script are some basic mods. Rapid fire, this is for single shot weapons and burst weapons like the FAL, M16, shotguns, pistols. After turning it on with up or down on the D-pad, you need to press A or X to enter the settings and adjust the RPS, which stands for rounds per second. I recommend watching my video on how to work out rapid fire for any weapon, which I'll link in the description. Next is akimbo rapid fire. It's the same as rapid fire, but it's for akimbo pistols. You'll need to adjust the RPS as well. Burst fire is for turning your fully auto weapon into a burst weapon. You will need to adjust the hold time, which is how long you want the mod to send the signal to your console or PC that you're holding and letting go of the shoot button. Play around with it and you'll understand what it's doing pretty quickly. Strafe shot has now been added to the script as well. With strafe shot activated, your operator will automatically start moving to the side when you start shooting. Next is Tailor Sense. This is a sensitivity modifier that lets you increase or decrease sensitivity. Now obviously you can just do this with your in-game settings, but the in-game settings doesn't allow you to adjust the sensitivity of when you're hip firing only, and this mod does. Quickscope is for sniping. It allows you to simply press the ADS once and it will ADS and fire for you. So if you love to quickscope in multiplayer or even Warzone, this is one you should definitely try out. Hold breath is also for sniping. Having it on means that as soon as you ADS, the mod will automatically press and hold the hold breath button for you, making your aim super steady straight away. Next is cancel plates. It's extremely annoying getting caught by an enemy in the middle of putting plates on. Having this mod on will allow you to press the shoot button to stop the plate process and start firing again. Enemy ping is there as well. I personally find it annoying, but it automatically pings wherever you shoot. Slide cancel, there's a choice between Modern Warfare and Cold War slide cancel. I tried the Cold War one after they'd made changes to it in the game, and the mod still works okay. The Modern Warfare one works absolutely fine. The bunny hop mod allows you to hold the jump button to keep your operator jumping instead of having to tap jump constantly. Prone shot will make your operator go prone as you start to shoot. Fast melee allows you to hold the melee button instead of tapping it to keep throwing punches and elbows. Auto run is the same as turning auto tac sprint on in the game settings. If you want to use auto run in this script, auto tack sprint needs to be turned off. Cancel reload is the same as cancel plates, but for when you're in the middle of reloading. So instead of having to wait for the reload animation to finish, you can press shoot to start firing again. Akimbo auto is for the full auto Akimbo Sikov pistols and possibly the new full auto pistol that's coming later on in the season. Driving mode is also a feature of this script. Driving mode, when it's activated, will deactivate any of the aim assist and anti-recoil mods to avoid any crazy screen shake when you're driving a vehicle. To activate driving mode, for an Xbox controller, you hold LT and double tap right on the D-pad. For a PlayStation controller, you hold L2 and double tap right on the D-pad. Driving mode will deactivate when you press X or square to exit the vehicle. So that's everything. By now, you should have a full understanding of how to navigate your way around this script, change values, and also have a decent understanding of what each mod is and does. If you do have any questions, ask them in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.